Hi, and welcome back. In this video, we're going to use Photoshop to remove backgrounds. So we mostly use Photoshop just to remove backgrounds and elements in pictures and to then transform pictures into into like, little elements that you can put left and right. And you can also take out certain things out of a picture that you really like. So for example, if there's like one face of a portrait that you took from someone and you just want the face, you can use Photoshop to remove the backgrounds and kind of use them with text wrap as well. So I want to use this picture. It's a stadium, and I want to remove this ceiling. And you can see that I can't do that with a simple crop because this part here will show or this part here will show. And I want the crop to go along this ridge here. So what I can do is I can right click, open with Adobe Photoshop. I like doing this just because it's far easier. The dimensions will always be correct. First, I will create a layer. I will release the lock here. I will call it layer 0, and I will put the layer on top so that here I have my background. So when I start removing things here, there will be a transparent background. Now on the left hand side, we have the move tool, which allows you to move certain elements. Contrary to that, we have the hand tool, which allows you to move around the page. We have a bounding box here, which I don't use a lot. We have this lasso tool. So this is a polygonal lasso tool. It allows you to kind of create dots and then lines and just any polygons around shapes that you'd like to make. And then once you have a little circle that appears next to it, you know it's a bound box. And then if I click backspace or delete, it'll delete it for me. So I can delete very specific shapes. I can also use this magical wand tool. Click on anything. Oh, sorry, I need to click on layers. And it'll find these, connected items, right? They're very useful in some cases, not always. They might miss certain things. And it would be very useful if I, for example, just wanted to have the grid. If I just wanted to have this little I wanted to remove the inside, but I don't want to do that. So how would I approach this? So first I can see that there is a big part here that I don't want. So I'm gonna create a box here, delete, and I've got this done. It's like a crop. And now I want to get rid of this line here. So what I would do in this case, I would actually use the polygonal lasso tool. I would zoom in with this. I would zoom in and I would start creating a box with very, very fine lines. So as you know, a circle is basically a million straight lines. And if you use that principle here, you can create curves by taking very small lines to the point that it kind of looks curved. I have a line here, and then I can just cross here. Oh, I also want this part. And then, boom, I've got this shape taken out. Let's say there was like this hat. I don't want this hat either. I can do the same thing here. It might not look so nice, so the more detail you put in, the longer it's going to take. Is just a bit. And then I can like remove this hat, but I don't necessarily want to do that right now. You can also use the magical tool. It'll highlight this person or it'll highlight this. So again, it has its pros, it has its cons. I wanted to remove this piece of light here. And that's how you can remove certain elements and backgrounds. Sometimes you can use this like remove background feature, but again, you have to be careful with that. And once I'm done with here, I'll take a file, I'll export it, export as a PNG, and then you can save it wherever you want to save it, and then you can use it. Now this will be a transparent, and then how would it look? it'll look like this. I hope this video is useful. My advice is if you have a lot of questions on Photoshop, I would use YouTube, and I would Google it if there's any creative things that you want to do, because you will have so many tools. You can have blur effects, you can have 3D effects. There's an endless thing that you can do with Photoshop, and we don't know it all. Um, but we do know how to remove backgrounds. So I'll see you in the next video where I'll show you how to use Adobe Illustration to create icons.